Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Gigabyte Aero 15. Alright, I don't know if there's a more specific model. It just says Gigabyte Aero 15. Oh, 15-X9. I don't know, all this stuff is rubbed off. Anyways, we're going to be using a T6 or Torque 6 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. Alright, so we're just going to undo all the screws. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down on my desk. In the pattern I remove them. Alright, so just like this. Okay, and there's also these little plastic things that are covering the screws. You could just pierce through them, or you can try and peel them up. I don't know if I'll be able to peel them up, so I might have to just pierce through them. Yeah, that's going to be tough, so I think we'll just pierce through them. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take the screwdriver and do that. Alright, again, all the screws are different size, shape, and length, so keep that in mind. You don't want to just throw them all into a container because then you're going to have a hard time knowing what goes where. Alright, so here we go. I might have to stop midway because my storage is almost full. I have to empty the trash on my phone. But anyways, let's continue getting all these screws out. Excuse me. Alright, so there's 4 here, there's 2 here, 3 here, and then 4 more down here. Okay, if this video helps you out, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Alright, anyways, that screw was kind of stuck, so I used a magnet to pull it up. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to have to use a magnet to get these out. Okay, technically you don't have to like take the screws out like this. Once you lift the cover out, it should be easier to get them out. But I'm just doing this because it makes it a little bit easier so I don't accidentally drop the screws somewhere. Okay. Alright, and if I remember correctly, their left fan is making noises, which means the one on this side. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can pop this cover off using a suction cup. Okay, so we're going to try pulling here, and it doesn't seem to want to pop out easily, so we're probably going to have to pry it a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll lift this up. I'm going to get my fingernails in that gap there, and I'm going to use my thumb on the palm rest to see if we can pop that. And yeah, that pops out really easily. Make sure you don't push on the trackpad here. You don't want to end up damaging that. So we're just going to go over to the other side of the palm rest and do the same. So here you can see it pops out really easily. We're going to go down the sides as well. Okay, now that we got that, let's close this. And we're going to work our way over here. And while we're kind of lifting it up, I'm just going to slide my fingernail into these little areas where the case connects from the top to the bottom. Okay, so that we can pop the clips out. Okay, this one doesn't seem to want to go, so let's go ahead and rotate this and go to the other side, and we'll continue the same thing. Okay. Alright. These clips here don't want to come out. Interesting. So the ones here are a bit more of a pain because they have this little overhang piece. Okay. And it doesn't want to just pop. Oh, there we go. Okay. So then we're going to work our way around. Same thing. We're kind of just lifting up on the cover while we kind of work our way over. And just like that, you can see it's all popping apart. You can use plastic pry tools. I just use fingernails because that's what I have on hand. Get it? On hand. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and pop this out. And also, I feel fingernails work a lot better. Okay, so yeah, okay, I can already see this fan is bad. You can see how this fan spins, okay, compared to this. You see that? It just gets stuck. So what we're going to do, I'm going to brush the dust out of here first, use an electric air blower, clean it all out, and then I'll be back. Alright, same thing with the bottom cover because the bottom cover is also pretty dusty, as you can see. Alright, most likely this thing's going to get all dirty, but I mean, it is what it is. Alright, so let me go clean that up and I'll be back. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I'm back. You can see it's a lot cleaner now. Alright, this little oily smear is from the thermal pad. I'm going to set the cover aside. Okay, and this design looks like it's gonna suck because they covered the fan screw holes here, and it looks like this fan is actually part of the heatsink. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna actually have to pull the entire heatsink out just to work on this. And because of that, to be safe, I'm gonna also pull out the battery if I can. All right, there's two NVMe or M.2 PCIe NVMe slots. This one actually also supports M.2 SATA. I don't know why you would use an M.2 SATA because right now they cost more than PCIe NVMe's, but I guess if you have one lying around. All right, anyways, you got the speaker here. It looks like there is a screw holding it down, and it connects right there with the other one also running all the way over here to this speaker here. All right, battery model number, if it's not okay, it's not covered, is GAG-J-J40, sorry. Okay, wireless card is right here. What else? This looks like the BIOS CMOS real-time clock RTC. Yep, battery connection here. So they put a label RTC bat. Okay. Again, fan connector here, fan connector here. What else we got? You got the LCD LVDS connector here. If you mess with this, make sure to disconnect the battery. Press and hold the power button for 15 seconds at least. And then you can go ahead and safely remove that. Okay? Anyways, this one's mainly a video for fixing the fan, so let's go ahead and get onto it. Let me show you the RAM real quick here because there are two slots. They're only using one. Pull the two tabs to the side, comes up like that at an angle. And here you can see this is a 16 gig stick, PC4 to 666V. So if you want, you can put another 16 gig stick and have a total of 32 gigs. All right. Anyways, we are going to be removing the heatsink now. One of these little rubber pieces disappeared. I don't know where that went. Okay, let's see about removing the battery. I don't see any screws, so I don't know if it's just held in with adhesive. If it is, that's gonna suck because then I'm not sure what we're gonna do in terms of removing that. Yeah, I think is it held in with adhesive? Are you serious? Okay, well, you can see this side is coming up. So they only put adhesive on one side. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, and if you're not careful, you can see the battery in the middle is bending. So we're gonna work our way over to this side slowly, carefully. I'm just pulling up on it. Okay, and yeah, I don't know what is holding that down. It looks like just adhesive. So I don't know if I want to actually pull the entire battery out because my main thing is just to get the connector out here. So I think if I lift it enough, I can actually just pull this out and we should be okay. So I'm going to wiggle this, right? You can see I'm using my fingernails, and you want to try and pull it back as straight back as you can. You don't want to try and just tilt it all to one side because then that can damage it. Okay, and you can see this thing is actually really tough to pull out. It's like stuck there. I might have to use a little flathead screwdriver there to help pull that. Okay, or a screwdriver, whatever fits there. Okay, so I'm going to use a screwdriver here and use that to help pull it while I kind of wiggle this. Okay, it would help if I had 3 hands to do this because I have to wiggle this and pull this. Okay, and then if you have a plastic tool, you can get in between there and push that, but I don't have one that will fit there properly, so let's go ahead and continue trying to pull this out. Okay, yeah, this battery connector's being a pain. Ouch. Okay, come on. Wow, why is it so difficult to pull this battery connector out? Come on. There we go. Okay. And now we got the battery disconnected. Right, again, I don't know, it's being held in with some adhesive on this side, so I'm just going to leave it in there because I don't want to try and rip it out and risk damaging the battery. We're going to carefully open up the screen, and then we're going to press and hold the power button in here for 15 seconds. This will drain any residual power and will make it a lot safer to work on. All right, this is very important. Again, we're going to hold the power button for about 15 seconds, so we'll give it another few seconds here. Okay, that should be good. Let's go ahead and carefully close this back down. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to have to remove all of this so that we can get to the heatsink or the fans. Okay, so what we're going to do, oops, did I put the screwdriver in the wrong spot? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to switch over to a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver, and we're going to remove all the heatsink screws here. Okay, screws for the fans and everything else. All right, so let's peel this up, and we are likely going to have to remove these rubber feet or these rubber pieces not on this fan, because this fan's okay. Actually, I might do it just to lubricate that one too, because why not, since it's already open. Okay, let's disconnect the fan connector. So same thing, I just use my fingernails at the wings and kind of just wiggle it and keep wiggling it, and eventually it should pop out. There we go. Okay, they have this little clip here, so to remove this, make sure, let me actually zoom in a bit here, sorry. Okay, so to move this, all right, it goes down this way, just like that, and out like that. There we go. Okay, then we got 4 screws holding in this part of the heatsink. This is for the GPU, so let's go ahead and remove those 4 screws. Okay, again, keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths, and you don't want to mix them up or it can cause damage. All right. Okay, so that one is actually completely covered with the rubber piece, so I'm going to have to figure that out. All right, let's move this over. Okay, and we'll take that one out. All right. I'm wondering if this is supposed to stay attached with the way it's shaped, but I don't know. All right, we got those 4 out. Then we got the 3 on the CPU, so we'll take those out as well. Okay. Okay. And the last one here. Gotta move this thing out of the way. Okay. Go. We got all the heatsink screws. See, this one actually, the thing stays in, so I think they were all supposed to stay in. That's not good. That means I accidentally, I don't know, all those other screws just popped out. Okay, we're gonna use my fingernails again, and we're gonna wiggle this connector. There, it's a lot more cramped here, so I'm gonna have to actually rotate this to make it easier for me to get to. Okay, connector's right there, and we're gonna try and do it this way. Okay, wiggle it. Let me actually use this so you can see a little bit better. Can you see? All right, we're gonna basically, same thing with the other one, just keep wiggling this connector. And actually this tool's not strong enough, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. And just keep wiggling and pulling. Wow, this connector's in there tight. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna remove the fan screws on this side as well. 2 screws holding this fan in place. Hopefully I got everything recorded. Okay, that one and this one. All right, let's see if we can pop out the heatsink now. It's gonna be a little tough because of the thermal paste. So keep that in mind, and you don't want to yank it up hard. We're gonna slowly, carefully lift it. Usually I try and go on these more solid areas, like the plates that connect to the GPU and CPU area. And we're gonna try and lift this. Wow, that's holding in really strong. Okay, so let's try and go from here. I'm gonna push down the motherboard with my thumb where that screw spot is and pull up here. Wow, it doesn't want to move at all. Okay, so I'm gonna push it over sideways like this. Use my thumb, push here, and pull with my fingers. You can see it's moving over a little bit. I'm gonna do the same thing with this side. That usually helps loosen it a bit. Okay, and I'm kind of lifting it as I'm wiggling it sideways like that, and I can actually see the CPU part is coming up, so that's good. Okay, and we're gonna go over to this side and see if we can do the same thing, kind of moving it up and down. while we're kind of pulling up on it. Wow, these thermal pads are holding on there really strong. And then slowly keep applying pressure. There you go. Okay, you don't want to try and pull too quick, and it's coming out. So, all right, there we go. Lift this up, and there we go. Whoa, that's kind of gross. We might have to, I don't know how we're going to redo all this thermal stuff that mushed out here. I can put a little bit of thermal paste in each spot, so that way when we smush it down, it will help fill the gaps. But yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, anyways, this one is the one that's having issues, but we might do both. All right, you can see there's all this dust stuck here underneath, so we're gonna brush that up and blow that away, because why not? We got it open. Okay. Okay, and let's blow the dust away. Okay, there we go. Oh, what's that? Oh. Okay. Let's go ahead now. We're gonna have to clean all this stuff up, and the way I'm gonna do that is I'm actually gonna be turning it upside down over. Ooh. Oh, that's what. Oh my god. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Wait, one is missing. Oh, here. Okay, so these little plastic pieces are what was holding those screws into the thing. So as you can see, only one of them is still in there, so I'm gonna have to find a way to push those all back in. All right. Okay, good thing they all fell in a place where I could easily find them. Okay, I'm gonna push those aside for now. All right, so what we're gonna do, we have to fix the fan, so let's set this aside. Okay, and what we're gonna do, we gotta figure out what's going on. Hopefully it's just gonna be an issue with the grease, and we can fix that. All right, so we got these rubber pieces. We're gonna take them off. I have to keep holding this because I don't want this goopy stuff to get stuck all over the desk. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and peel these off. Okay. Go. All right, we're gonna switch over to a PH0 or JS0 screwdriver. Oh, where'd this little rubber piece come from? Switch on over. Okay. Again, we have to keep holding it up because we don't want it to get stuck all over the table. And we'll take these 4 screws out. Okay. Go. And the last one here. All right, so we got those 4 screws out. Let's see if we can remove the fan now. Okay, you can see it flips up like this. There's a lot of dust in here. We're gonna clean that. All right, so let me brush this off into the trash next to me. Okay. Okay, so now we got that. We can put it down because all the thermal pads are facing upwards now. Okay, and let's see if we can pop these propeller blades off. Usually the best way to pop the propeller blades off is to go at the inside. There's a little thick ring that is basically the outer edge of this centerpiece. So usually it's best to kind of push on that. All right, and you can see it popped up, and there we go. So we got this propeller blades off. I like to hold it like this and then use a toothbrush and just clean the propeller blades. Okay, so basically like this, but I don't want to throw it all into the motor, so I'm doing it off to the side. Okay, all right, just like that. All right, so here you go. We got this propeller blades all cleaned up. We can clean around here as well. Okay, so now to clean or to get this fixed, what we're going to do is we're going to drip some motor oil in there. You can use whatever oil that's designed for moving parts, but I've just been using just some synthetic motor oil. Okay, again, you can use whatever works for you, but make sure that it's designed for like moving parts. You don't want to use like WD-40 or something. WD-40 is not a lubricant. All right, make sure whatever you're using is designed to lubricate moving pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna tilt the bottle over like this. I'm just gonna use like paper clip or whatever to get the oil onto there, and we're just gonna drip it into that hole just like that. Okay, once you do that, you can put the fan propeller back on. We're going to spin it around. Okay, you can see it spins a lot better. Okay, after that, we want to clean it out. So I'm going to get a piece of paper towel. Okay, so we want to clean out all the bad grease that's stuck in there. So we're going to pull the propellers back up. Again, if you can't really pull it up straight like this, you want to go from the other side and push on the outer ring. Okay, so we're going to clean this off. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same thing, repeat the process, put more oil in there, and then put the propeller blades back on. Okay, get the oil in there again, put the propellers back on, and spin it again. Assuming the center piece didn't get damaged, which it looks like it should be okay, then you should be fine. Okay, so we're going to carefully lift that up. Okay, sometimes this center piece gets damaged and then doing this won't help. Alright, anyways, we're going to clean the oil off again. You can see it's like leaving some grayish color here. That means I need to keep doing this. So usually you want to do this until it's like all like yellow, just the oil. Okay, and then you should be good to go. So we'll do this again. Okay, it's getting better. Carefully lift this out. Same thing, you can see it's clean. We're gonna wipe this. And then we open it up and you can see now the oil's more yellow. Probably one more time and we should be good. All right. Here, I probably put too much oil now. All right, get that in, spin that. Okay, you can see the fan is spinning a lot better now. Okay, same thing, grab that. And you can see now it's just the color of the oil. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean out this a little bit because I overflowed it. Okay, and then we're gonna put a little bit more oil in there and we should be good to go. We'll reassemble this. Okay, another drop of oil. Okay, I'm actually gonna clean the area around it because I don't want the oil out on top. Just like that. We'll put the propeller blades back on. Come on. There we go. And there we go. Looks good. All right, so we're gonna close this back up. Flip this back over. We're gonna hold this again and we're gonna get those screws back in. All right, might as well do the other side as well since we have this all taken out. All right, so let's go ahead and get these screws back in and then we will work on the other side. And then we got to also figure out how to get those screws mounted back in place. Okay. Technically it doesn't need those little washer things, but those washers help keep it attached to this so that you don't have to worry about losing the screws. Okay. Alright, so we got those 4 screws in. Let's go ahead and put these little rubber things back on top. Okay, just like that. So we got all of those in. Let's go ahead and move over to this side and do the same thing. So peel these off. Okay, same thing. Let's take the 4 screws out. Again, be careful with the goopy stuff underneath. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's flip this thing back over. Flip the fan up like this. You can see it's dusty here, so we're going to clean that out again, just like the other side. Trying to keep the dust away from that stuff. Okay, let me brush off the outside here as well, and then we will continue with adding the grease. Okay. Okay. Right, it's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot better than it was before. Let's try and clean this from the other side. Okay, there we go. So we got this. We're gonna pull the propellers off. Okay, it's stiff, so we're gonna go from this side again and push from the middle ring. Then we can go ahead and grab that, and we're gonna clean this dust out as well. Okay. Again, same thing like before. I'm just holding it like this and then brushing it. Okay. Okay, so it's a lot cleaner now. Okay, we're gonna clean this up as well. This one we can actually just use this paper and wipe it up. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing. Add the oil to there, put the propellers back on, spin it around until the oil is clean. Okay. Oil there. Propellers back on. All right, spin this around. Okay. Another clean piece of paper towel. Pull these back up. Okay, wipe this off. Okay, not much oil in there. Okay, let's put some more. Yeah, this one doesn't have much oil in it, so we're gonna keep adding oil. There we go. Alright, let's wipe this again. Still not much oil in there. Okay, this one's like super dry, so good thing we're adding oil to it. There we go. Now it's actually overfilled with the oil. Go, spin that around. Pull this back up. Oh yeah, it came out smooth, more smooth now. Okay, you can see the grease in this one's already pretty clean because there wasn't really much grease left in there. It just all evaporated or something. I don't know. The grease doesn't really evaporate. Okay, and we'll just get another drop in there and then we'll test it, but I think we should be good because this one wasn't bad to begin with. Okay, pull that up and we'll wipe this off. And yeah, you can see the oil is pretty clean there. So we're just gonna clean that up outside. Get a little more oil one more time. Good. Wipe the outside. All right, get the fan propellers back in. Perfect. Spin it around. Okay, and we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and reassemble this thing. We're gonna have to put a little bit of thermal paste on all the pads areas, and also gonna have to clean off all the old thermal paste. Okay. All right, so let's see, how are we gonna clean off this old thermal paste? Because this is probably, yeah, this paste is, it's not too bad. It's a bit hard, but not like crazy. Okay, so we're just gonna wipe this stuff off. First, I'm just using a regular paper towel. I'm actually gonna use this plastic tool to help scrape it up, make it easier. Okay. You can see we can scrape this stuff off. Some of it's stuck on there pretty strong. Just like this. Okay, good. Clean this off as well. And when we turn this over into the trash, we don't want it to fall back onto all the other thermal pad stuff. So you want to kind of tilt it over so it all spills off this side. Okay. Oh, it's pretty bad. This one's stuck on there pretty strong. Yeah, this stuff got dried up from overheating. Okay, so I'm gonna now turn this over into the trash and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and actually put this fan back together. So we'll close this up. Okay, hold this way and let's get these screws back in. All right, after that, we're gonna clean the thermal paste off of the CPU and GPU. Okay, put that in. Perfect. Right, and last one. Good. All right. Let's go ahead and grab the, oops, let's actually put the rubber pieces back first, and then we'll grab the motherboard and work on that. Okay. Cover those little screws again. Okay, there we go. Let's set this aside and let's go ahead and work on the motherboard now. So we'll grab the other computer. I might have to actually do this off camera. I'm gonna have this upside down and scrape the stuff off, so that way it ends up in the trash. Let me see if I can just scrape this stuff right now. Okay, at least partially, so you can kind of make sure to get this stuff out, but it's all like hard and crusty. All right. Okay, here we go. We'll do the GPU as well. Oh wow, this stuff is stuck really strong. Okay. Yeah, the GPU thermal paste is stuck on there pretty strong. Okay. And you want to be careful because there are raised bits of stuff back here underneath that tape, so you don't want to accidentally scrape or chip those off. Okay, we're just trying to get the paste out. Okay, this one is likely going to leave behind a lot because the chips are over here. Okay, I'll show you later what I mean once I get it all cleaned up, but we're gonna scrape this junk off. Wow, that's pretty bad. Okay, let me dump this off into the trash and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and clean off this stuff. So we're going to use paper towel and rubbing alcohol or isopropyl rubbing alcohol. Okay, I'm using 91%. You can actually use less, but 91% is good because it has more alcohol content, so it evaporates better. Okay, and we're just going to wipe this stuff off here. Okay, just like that. So here you can see much cleaner now. Okay, and then dry this up. I think it's leaving behind smears, but okay, interesting. Oh, that's just reflection. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and clean this side as well. The main thing is the dye here. You want to just clean off this. Okay, the plastic stuff here is not as important, and you probably can't clean that off anyways, so don't worry too much about it. Okay. All right, there we go. We're going to flip this over to a cleaner side, and we're going to continue wiping it. Okay, and dry it up. Okay, so there we go. All right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to use the, oh, I forgot. My bad. I didn't finish. Why did I throw that? Okay. We also need to wipe the stuff off of the heatsink, of course. I almost forgot about that. So let's go ahead and clean this as well. Okay. See, the old piece is pretty tough to get off. You just got to keep wiping and scrubbing. Use a bit of elbow grease. Be careful not to push down too hard. You don't want to bend the heatsink pipes or anything, the thermal pipes. Okay, so there we go. Move over to a clean side again, and same thing, continue cleaning. Alright. Just like that. Okay, we're going to get another piece of paper, and we're just going to make sure it's clean. And the other thing is we want to try and get these screw mount things back in if we can. I'm going to try. We'll see if that's possible. If not, I don't know. We'll just put them over the screw holes so that when we screw it in, it will automatically go back into place. Alright, you can see it's a lot cleaner now. Okay, there we go, just like this. Clean all the gunk off. All right, looks good. This stuff is like corrosion, so you can't really clean that off. It's just permanently stained like that. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, let me see, how can I do this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put thermal paste on these. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I have this icy diamond, and I'm just gonna put the paste here. Let's see if I can. So basically I just want some stuff here so that way when I put this on, it's just gonna help smush it and spread it out. Okay, so we don't need a crazy amount because there's already this stuff here. Basically that's just gonna push the air bubbles outwards. Okay. Normally the pads are used for like these where it needs a bit thicker amount. Okay. And Icy Diamond works really well because it's thick, so it kind of keeps that shape. It's not gonna like randomly start leaking everywhere. Okay. Okay, these ones maybe a little bit. It doesn't need much because most of the pad is still there. Come on, get off. That one made like a tall swirly thing. Okay, there's a lot of thermal paste that I'm using for this one. Come on, let go. Okay, there we go. So I just filled that up. These ones are still somewhat thick pads, so I think they should be okay. All right, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna move over to the GPU and CPU here, and we're gonna get this so that when we put that on, it's gonna spread out. Okay, so the way you want to do this, you just make a line, and when you put the heatsink on, it's actually going to spread it for you, so you don't need to worry about spreading it by yourself. So for this, you only need like kind of like a grain of rice kind of thing. Okay, because it actually spreads super thin. So this stuff, when you put the heatsink on, it's gonna push it really, really thin. And I don't know if you saw how it was before. You actually don't want it to go all the way out here, but yeah, they usually will end up putting way too much. So okay, that's actually already probably way more than enough. And you don't want a crazy amount. Okay, so basically when you put the thing on top, it will push this out and it will spread it like this. Okay, and it will make it a super thin layer, and that will basically just fill the gaps between the copper plate and this die here. Okay, this one, because it's bigger, we're gonna end up using more, of course. So we'll just make like a thicker thing of rice. Okay, even that's pretty large amount. A full-size GPU where the whole thing is like the die, you would use about the size of a pea. And this is smaller, so this should be plenty. And again, you kind of want to have it so that it's more rounded on top. Okay. Some people will spread it out evenly, but I feel that creates air pockets, and that actually is not as good. This way, when you put the thing on top, it will actually push all the air bubbles out. Okay, so here you can see, this is what it looks like. Okay, it's like a mound like that, and same thing with this one. Okay, one thing I need to do, which I didn't do, is to put the screws into the things first. Okay, so I was mentioning that earlier, and I didn't do it. So when this goes, let's see, this goes this way. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get this screw in here. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna try and get the screw in here and see if I can somehow put that white plastic thing back on it. So I'm gonna hold this up like that and see if I can get one of these little white plastic washer rivet things and see if I can get that to snap in. I don't know if there's an easy way to snap this back in. That's gonna be tough. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Maybe if I use the screwdriver with the right sized bit that has like something like this. Oh, that works. Okay, so I use this bit where it's just like a circle hole, and you can see that actually worked. So we're gonna do that with all of them. Okay, gonna get the screw, put that through there, hold that in place, and while we're holding it in place, get one of those plastic things, and we're just gonna use this to push that on. You have to make sure it's centered though, of course. It's kind of being a pain. Come on, get over there. Okay, and push that on. Oh, this one's being difficult. Come on, there we go. Snap that in. Okay, and we're gonna do that for all of them. We have 4 more. Sucks that they got ripped out, so now I have to do this. Okay, so I guess when you go to take the screws out of here, you want to go slow and just twist each one a little at a time. You don't want to try and do one at a time, and then that way these pieces will slowly work their way. It'll help pull the thing up. Okay, there we go. This is actually working. All right, this one. Okay, hold that up. Get that plastic thing. Oh, am I getting the paste all over everything? Hope not. There we go. Okay. So down here, same thing. We're almost done. We only have 2 more. Uh-oh. What did I do? I flinged the little thing somewhere on accident. Okay, I'm gonna have to find that one, so I'll do that off camera once I get this. I'm gonna pause and look for that one that I just launched somewhere. There we go. All right, let me find that one that I lost, and then I'll be back. All right, so I found it. Let's get the last screw in here. Wait, what did I do? I found it, I put it somewhere. Oh, I can't. Here we go. All right, almost knocked it off my desk. That would have been bad. All right, snap that last one in. There we go. Okay, so now we got all of those in. Let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Okay, so we got this, of course. I'm gonna zoom out. Okay. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna carefully line this up. Make sure that you get underneath this tape thing here, okay? Slowly, carefully lower it into place. Make sure these cables aren't getting caught underneath. Right. Okay, and then when you get to here, we have numbers on this. You can see there's a 1 right here. Actually, you can't see. Let me zoom in. Okay, so here you can see they're numbered here. Okay, so we got 1 up here. What we're gonna do, we're gonna twist it backwards. You hear it click. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then we go to number 2. Twist it backwards. Hear it click. 1, 2, 3. All right, then we got number 3 over here. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. Got number 4 over here. 1, 2, 3. Number 5. 1, 2, 3. Number 6. 1, 2, 3. Number 7. 1. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then we're gonna go again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're gonna tighten it all the way. Right? Am I using the wrong? This is the 0. Why am I using a pH 0? Switch back to the pH 1. Okay, good thing I didn't end up stripping the screws. Okay, tighten that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And these screws actually are spring loaded, so they will actually slowly continue applying downward pressure and help get those screws in. Now I'm just going to double check, make sure everything is nice and tight. Okay, I'm going to put these little rubber things back to cover the screws. Okay. I think we lost one of these rubber pieces. I don't know where it went. Okay, Get all this line back up. All right, let's plug the fans back in. So we got this one. Make sure you get it completely lined up before you push it together. Okay, line it up. If you're replacing the fan, excuse me, if you replace the fan, you can see these metal things for the connector. You want to make sure those are face up. All right, we'll pinch this back in. Come on, make sure it goes in right. Pinch that back in. There we go. Perfect. Don't forget the screws. We had 2 screws in the fan. All right. One here. And one up in this corner. Okay, getting dust on here. All right, we'll go over here and make sure to plug in this fan down here. Same thing, the metal pins for this connector are face up. You don't want to put this solid plastic side face up, all right? Get it all lined up. Make sure we'll push that tape down. Okay, get it lined up. Come on, get in there. Oh, let's actually thread this through this little piece first, okay? All right, so get that in there. All right, now line this up and pinch back together. There we go, perfect. Get the one screw that was, I think, under here. Yeah. Okay. Is it? Why is it not lined up? Oh, I have to move this a bit. Oh no, it's not lined up right. Am I gonna have to take all the screws out, or is something just here not lined up right? Let me see here. Come back out. Nice, this screw stuck in there. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna hold this in place and get this screw in. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Tape this down. Perfect. Okay, so we got all of that. Now we just got to put the bottom cover back on, power it up, and make sure everything is working properly. Okay, so let's zoom out. Oop. Move all that junk out of the way. Let's get a thumbnail here. Okay, actually zoom in more. All right, will this be a good thumbnail? Okay, so we got the thumbnail. Don't forget the battery connector here, of course. All right, so what we're gonna do to get that in, oops, I should have done that and then do the thumbnail, but anyways, we'll lift this up, okay? And then we're holding this up, get this connector back in, line it up. You wanna make sure this goes in straight, not crooked at an angle, because otherwise you can bend the pins. All right, so get that lined up and then kind of wiggle and pinch this back in. Just like that. Get this back in. All right, now let's do the thumbnail. Sorry about that. There we go. Give that a few seconds. Ready? Make sure we clean all the dust off here. All right, let's go ahead and put the bottom cover back on. Just line it up. Kind of snap everything back down. Okay, work your way all around. Kind of lift it up, make sure everything looks okay. Okay, work your way down the side edges. Looks good. Make sure these side edges are good. Okay, looks good. Okay, let's go ahead now and get all the screws back in, and that's pretty much all there is to this. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, again, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. I actually started doing a bunch of other random types of videos, so if computer repairs aren't your thing for learning or entertainment, I do have random videos of scam callers that keep calling me. I have videos of reviewing random stuff from Costco or other places like Amazon and other things like that. And yeah. But anyways, let's get all these screws back in and we're good to go. We're gonna power it up, make sure the fan isn't making any weird noises. And yep. Again, this is the Gigabyte Aero 15. Alright, and I don't know what the 15-X9, but I guess that's the full model number. Okay. And yeah. Alright. 2 more screws. And we're going to power it up and see how this thing goes. Alright, let's flip this over. Close that thermal paste junk. So we're going to clean this off because thermal paste flakes went all over it. Okay, so we're going to use some rubbing alcohol and paper towel and just wipe this stuff off. Okay, cleans off very nicely. Okay, and let's go ahead and power this thing up and see what we got. Alright. Oh, I probably have to hold the button. This thing is all dusty on the screen. The fan still makes a little bit of noise, but nowhere near as bad as what it did. Oh, I see. That was just the initial startup. It spins like at full speed or something. Okay, well, all that dust isn't coming out. It's like greasy, or it's water-based, so I'd have to use water to clean that. But anyways, it's booting up. Oop, I don't want to show the user account stuff. But yeah, it looks like it's working. Looks like it's good. So again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. You can see it's done. All right, let's drop this. Bye.